October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. All this week, WAAY 31 is taking a closer look at the issue in North Alabama. Domestic violence can take many forms. There's physical violence, but it can also include verbal, emotional, financial, and psychological abuse. Tonight, WAAY 31 News anchor Dan Shaffer shows us the scope of the problem and what's being done locally to help.
It's literally an epidemic problem.
Kurt Lindsley is president of the Board of Directors for Crisis Services of North Alabama, a private nonprofit that operates the Hope Place shelter.
The need is so much greater than what's available resource-wise.
The numbers are staggering. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, nearly 20 people every minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the U.S. That's more than 10 million every year.
Statistically, 1 out of 4 women and 1 out of 9 men at some time in their life will experience domestic violence.
In North Alabama, in 2017, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency reported 6,747 DV-related assaults, 73 rapes, and 5 deaths tied to domestic violence.
As shocking as those numbers are, they're actually down significantly from just a generation ago. The norm is changing. Society's not as tolerant of domestic violence, doesn't look the other way like it used to. Women are less dependent on their spouses for financial support, and there are more resources available for those who find themselves in an abusive relationship.
You know, that's what caused me to leave, having a gun pointed in my face and threatened that one was for me.
Tanya Reagan barely made it out of her abusive relationship alive. She's convinced her ex-husband would have shot her had she not found refuge and help.
Had gotten a restraining order at that point and had temporary custody of the kids, and he came back to probably kill me and perhaps our children.
He went to prison. She has dedicated her life to helping other women climb out of the pain and darkness of domestic violence. She's now the shelter manager of Hope Place in Huntsville that unfortunately is almost always full.
We have a 25-bed facility, and that's not near enough.
The demand for emergency shelters still far surpasses the available beds. It's a crisis Lindsley says impacts all aspects of society, rich or poor, white and blue collar.
Yeah. Each year, 8 million hours of work are lost due to domestic violence, which is 32,000 full-time jobs. For the U.S. economy, it impacts between $5 to $12 billion in lost time from work.
The abuser is controlling, often isolating the victim from finances and other relationships, creating a dependency that becomes almost impossible to escape.
And so it really creates a very difficult financial situation for so many people that are going through domestic violence.
For Tanya, escape was literally a matter of life and death.
Without a doubt, had I not received shelter services, not started learning what was happening to me, not been told if your gut tells you something's not right, pay attention, I don't think I would be here talking with you today.
This shelter costs over $1 million a year to operate. They rely on grants and donors to pay the bills. Lindsley says awareness is a double-edged sword. As more survivors come forward, shelters have to find creative ways to help.
And so if we have a situation where we have space and someone at another shelter does not, or vice versa, then we're here to help support each other.
And if you or someone you know is involved in an abusive relationship, help is just a phone call away. You can call Crisis Services of North Alabama's helpline at 256-716-1000. And tomorrow at 6, why it is so hard for some people to leave. Cindy recently broke free. Her body is literally broken from domestic violence injuries. But we learned what it finally took for her to escape with her son. And the resources for anyone in a domestic violence situation, including the phone number that we just shared, are all listed on our website. Just go to WAAYTV.com.